Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Invin. Today I am going to be bringing you guys a video on the smelter and how to actually level up your smelting skill efficiently and effectively in New World, as this is going to be one of the most beneficial skills that you can actually level up, because it's going to allow you to get the ingots for all of the higher level crafting stuff. So if you are focusing on engineering, weaponsmithing, armor smithing, anything like that, it's going to be very useful, as well as a lot of your town board quests will ask you to get things like iron ingots, steel ingots, and eventually star metal ingots when you do get up to the levels for that, and even higher ones. And these are going to give you a ton of XP really quickly, which is nice. And obviously, like I said there, it's going to allow you to craft the higher tier weapons and tools, and as well as other engineering and armor smithing and also weaponsmithing, different variants of things, which are going to be very good at those higher tiers. So it's going to be a crucial core skill you're going to need to level up in New World, and this guide is hopefully going to show you guys how to do that effectively and explain what this skill is actually all about. So as you can see in the current beta version of the game, I have got 106 levels in smelting, and to be honest, I haven't really even focused on it. So basically the way to do this is obviously by creating things through the smelter. It'll tell you on the left hand side menu here the name of the item, so charcoal, and on the right it tells you a number with the bar next to it, and that is the smelting skill level required. So for charcoal and iron ingots and also void bent ingots, it is level 0 along with silver, and that means that you can craft these straight away. Now over on the middle screen it will tell you what the recipe is, so charcoal, and it will tell you what resources can be used to make this. So obviously I've got some higher tier resources right now, but if you were just starting off the game, you'd be on green wood, and that would say it'd take 2 green wood for every one, and currently I could craft up to 146. So that would mean I'm able to make that. It would also tell you down here in the bottom right underneath where it says the amount that you're going to make, it tells you the requirements, so you would need the resources. The smelter must be at least tier 3 to make charcoal, so you would need to find a tier 3 smelter if this was not one. However, this tier of smelter here right now is level 4, so we are fine to make these. And it also tells you the smelting skill level requirement. Underneath that, it tells you the tax that you're going to get charged for crafting the item in this settlement, as well as the XP you will gain per one of these items crafted. So I'd get 18 XP times 146 if I went ahead and did that one. So as you can imagine, this adds up fairly quickly. Now it does tell you up the top here on the right, it tells you your level and the chance to craft additional items, which currently is 11% for me. So essentially if I crafted 100 charcoal, I should get around 11 extra items for doing that, which is pretty nice, and this increases with your level as well. Now this is even better for things like iron ingots, which do require you to go out and mine the iron ore veins around the world. As it says there on when you hover over it, it is derived from iron veins, which means you need to go out and mine these. So when you are going to be leveling up your smelting skill, it is ideal to level up your mining skill as well, rather than buying the ores from the auction house or the marketplace rather, because you will need to eventually go ahead and level up your mining as well if you do want to be self-sufficient in earning a lot of cash, because you'll be able to sell these ingots for a lot of money, or if you want to be self-sufficient in crafting too, because you'll be able to craft them for a lot cheaper and make a bigger profit off crafting items because you're not having to buy the raw resources. So again, here I could go ahead and craft a certain amount of these, but when you get up to the higher level stuff like steel ingots, for example, it does tell you that you require 3 iron ingots per one. So obviously I would need to craft the iron ingots first and smelt those, as well as charcoal, so I'd need to smelt those first. Then you put those in with some flux, which currently I've got a fair bit of. Again, this is derived from supply containers, so when you are out in the open world of New World and you are going around and searching chests and containers, these can contain sand flux, and this is where you'll be able to use these for refining. So you go ahead and select this and then craft the amount that you want to do. Again, it tells you how much XP per one and the smelting tier which is required, which again is tier 3 for this one, and a level 50 in the smelting skill, and you go ahead and then craft these items. Now when you get up to things like tier 4, which is star metal ingots, these are going to require 6 star metal ore, so again you would either need to mine this or buy it if you are trying to fast track that way and you've leveled up your skill solely through buying raw ores. You would then also need the flux again and the charcoal, and this time steel ingots, so it's going to take 3 iron into every steel and then 2 steel into every star metal. So as you can see, it does progress quite quickly, which is why I say if you level up your mining skill at the same time, you're going to be getting both these levels very high at the same time, which is lovely because it gets you a lot of XP, a lot of bonus XP overall for your actual player level by doing both of these, and of course means that you can come back and do these for more profit at a later date too. Now again, moving on to the precious metals, these are used in jewelry crafting, so are really good in conjunction with the outfit station and of course the stone cutting skill, and this is how you can use to make the chains and the bands for jewelry. So obviously silver ingots would just require silver ore, you can go ahead and craft these. Gold ingots require silver ingots and gold ore to make, and obviously the flux as well. And then platinum is again platinum, gold ingots and flux, just the same way that the metals go up. The precious metals are exactly the same, and the higher level ingot you use for tools or weapons, they're going to be better off, or indeed armor. And the same with precious metals, the higher level ingots you use to craft those jewelry, they're going to give you better stats and better gear score. So overall, you're always going to want to use the best ones that you can actually make. Now here as well, you can do conversion. So what you will need to do is get any other tier 3 resource. So for example, here I have a lot of coarse sandpaper or solvent. I could put that one in and get a common material converter, which can be found at your faction's leader. If you hover over it, it says that it's derived from the faction shop. So you go over to your faction leader, go ahead and go on there and buy this common material converter. I believe you do need to be the second tier of faction renown in order to be able to buy these, and then you can use these to convert over. But generally you do find quite a lot in supply containers. It's just that I've done an awful lot of crafting and smelting here, so you'll see that I don't have that many left, but you do generally get quite a lot. And if I go out and did another dungeon run or something, I would probably come back with another 50 to 100 or so. So they're fairly common to find, which is quite nice. Now you can also do downgrades. So if you've got a lot of steel, you can make these back into iron ingots with solvent, or again, if you've got star metal, you can make these into steel with solvent, or if you've got orichalcum ingots, you can also make those back into star metal, etc. And these will all just be downgraded using solvent as well, and the same with precious metals. Now you can see here there is also some other things that you can do. So at level 150, you can actually get orichalcum ingots, which requires the ore, star metal, flux again, and obviously charcoal. So charcoal, despite it being a very early on thing and literally just coming from green wood, which is the first young trees that you chop down that give you green wood, is going to be used in pretty much every smelting recipe that you need. So you're always going to want to have a lot of that on. You'll also see here that you would need a smelter tier 5 in order to be able to make this, which this one is only tier 4. So even if I did go to 150 in the next few hours or so, I would not then be able to craft these until the town or governing company of this settlement leveled this smelter up to tier 5, or I went to a different settlement that had a tier 5 smelter already in. And it tells you that obviously you need the skill level for that, but it does give 10,010 smelting XP per one made. So if you make a few of these, you can see that you'll skyrocket your level very, very quickly. And obviously then moving on to the final one, which is the tier 5, the Asmodium ingots, and they are the tier 5 ones which can be used to make the highest level of tools, armor and weapons in the game. Exceptionally good for tier 5 crafting, and when you're pushing for those very, very high gear scores, these are going to be super, super good. They do need a ton of stuff in order to make them, and as you can see here where they're derived from, they are rare drops from orichalcum veins, as well as the tolvium is, and then the obsidian flux is from supply containers. It's a tier 5 rare drop, so these do take a lot to make, but once you do get them, they are very, very good, so it's definitely worth it. And obviously as you get into the end game areas where you're going to be getting these more as drops and the items more as drops, you're going to be getting these levels up naturally by just playing and crafting things as well, which is super, super nice. And probably one of the fastest ways to do this is generally just by making things into ingots as you're gathering it. You do want to keep some raw iron ore in order to turn in some of the town board quests, such as the ornaments and the weapons crates, but generally you want to smelt 90% of the iron that you get into ingots so that you can level it up quickly. A lot of charcoal, make a lot of that as well, and obviously just make a lot of steel and star metal as you get to those ones too, and it's going to level it up nice and quickly. So hopefully this quick guide has helped you all understand the basics of smelting, how to level it up, and obviously what the benefits of leveling up the smelting are. If you did find this video useful and informative, please do leave a like on it down below, as it'd be much, much appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing down below as well, as I am posting tons and tons of New World content, and I will be doing up until the full release, and of course after the full release has come out as well. So make sure you don't miss out on that by subscribing and turning on the notification bells. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care and peace.